What do we call the episode?
We always figure that out after.
Okay, we'll figure that out after.
Wait, no, I did. Oh wait, no, I did have an idea for it earlier. It would be a huge troll to say this. Call it In the Dawn of the AI.
Yeah, I was.
the fucking Ordnogan song.
That's what I named the folder of the episode.
Because see, okay, perfect. We're totally in sync.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. We're professionals. See,
this is why
we both
work
have the
together.
same stupid fucking joke.
Yeah, that.
And it's great. It's like it's algorithm, like AI, rage bait, whatever. It's great. I love it. Perfect. No notes.
I thought it
as
was
they say.
okay. I don't know.
It is stupid. It is, but it's
stupid.
fucking.
I don't know
fine.
if it's good or bad that we agree on this.
If we don't come up with anything better, which we know we won't, then we're gonna stick with it.
Sup Nerds, welcome to Powerful, the Power Metal Podcast, the best place to listen news about your power metal when you're sick of listening to power metal. That's the best tag I could think of for the show. It's not great. We are working on it. And I'm here, your host, as usual, Fernando, with my good friend Kyle, who's been perusing all the new releases and everything. How's it going, Kyle?
I'm doing good. I'm listening to, I think, a good variety of metal that we're going to talk about today. We've got some drama to talk about today. That always, gets the people going, gets them riled up. So I think we're going to have a good time here.
Awesome. Yeah. And let's look at something recent for once. It's been a while since we were able to do one of these episodes and actually talk about something that happened recently.
You mean we're going to talk about recent music and not like a festival or my vacation, how I got drunk at some hotel? Like, we're going to talk about actual music today.
This is not a trauma
blog. I don't
blog.
believe you.
It's incredible.
I don't believe you.
We made it. It took so long, but we're here, and now we have a topical topic, I guess.
Like a real podcast.
Like a real podcast. Now, you're probably aware, if you listen to our show, you're probably aware of this. So you probably heard of the band Unleash the Archers and their new single that released by the time we released this episode like a week ago, called Green and Glass, from the upcoming album, which name I forgot. Fantoma. That, but spelled weirdly for one of the songs. That's cool. So it's a whole AI theme album concept thing, and they made this a video with the particular choice of making it an animation that it's what I call an automated rotoscoping, which is using an AI training model to automate the replacement of someone filmed with an animation frame by frame based on someone's art style. And this has brought, understandably, a lot of comments,
a lot of discourse,
and pitchforks, and several screamings online. It's that like the response was swift and loud, I guess.
Yeah, like going into last week, I didn't think, oh man, drama about Unleash the Archers is what I've got to look forward to with upcoming power metal discussions. Normally when it's just like, oh, a well-liked band has a new song or new album coming out, it's just like, oh, are we going to like this better or worse than stuff that they're really well known for? Because like with Unleash the Archers, I feel like it's, do you like Abyss better or do you like Apex better is like a fucking power metal personality test matrix type question. It gets everyone.
Yeah.
And so that's the drama I was expecting for this. Just the low stakes stuff. But they just had to go and get cute with it.
They really, I think this is very, very bold. Or very, very tunnel vision, because Unleash the Archers is a relatively big band now compared to 5 years ago. They've been growing a lot. Mm-hmm. They're probably from the bands, the power metal bands from North America. This is probably the one that grew the most. They're definitely the biggest of the small scene from 5 years ago. And that means to me it
means people give a shit and are gonna get mad.
Shit, and also, I think it's safe to say that a big chunk of their audience are very old school people that would definitely be on the angry side of AI usage in any way, just for the buzzword without understanding what is going on.
It's such a hot button topic in like every possible industry, creative stuff, tech stuff, whatever it is.
Yeah. And so this is very interesting. In case you're not familiar with the whole thing, so you can watch the video. It's the song Green and Glass. It's on Napalm Records YouTube channel. And it's this animation, which is not animated by a person.
Yeah, you can call it "quote unquote" animated.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
So
there's so many layers to this. It's always complicated.
It's animated as long as you accept rotoscoping as animation, which some people do, some people don't. It's the basics of it is like you film someone doing an action, and then you trace over each of those frames with a drawing. What they did is use this training model that automates that part. It just learns how to draw as one specific person, in this case, Bo Bradshaw. I hope I'm saying his name correctly.
Yeah, they license the artwork for the training data from Bo Bradshaw. So he wasn't involved with the animation or the video really in any way other than saying, yes, you can use this specific artwork for this specific training.
It's
video
like saying,
data.
You can copy my style.
You can copy my homework.
You can copy my homework. Look at all my drawings, put them in the blender, and let the machine do the thing. This is one of the main things that a lot of people in general have an issue with the usage of AI in terms of drawings and artwork and all of that, which is if you just train a model in a general pool of whatever it finds on the internet, that means it's using a lot of copyrighted material without permission to create another product. Which is
right. So what they tried to do here was, as far as I can tell, at least a very good effort to do it as ethically as possible, which I respect. Like, I know Unleash the Archers are very nice, lovely people. They're not out here to screw over artists or anything. So, like, I'm not going to assume any kind of bad intentions. But I think where the problem with this style of quote unquote animation comes in is that the tech is kind of like built in to have some kind of training based off of the broader internet, which is to do rotoscoping in general. Yeah. You can say, okay, do it in the style of this specifically, but the initial like building of the technology was still involved the like copyrighted works of other people, which is uncredited. And that's, I think, where people get pissed off, and that's why they kind of had to apologize yesterday.
Yeah, so
I think that's how this works.
We think that's how this works. We're not experts.
I watch Corridor Digital, which is like where this technique came from, and I still don't really get it.
Yeah, for anyone that wants to dive deeper into this, you can go check out Corridor Digital's video. We made an anime. They made 2 of those videos where they explain this process. They came up with
anime, rock, paper, scissors. It's like that whole thing.
Yeah, that's the resulting product, but the explanation video, it's on a different channel in Corridor Crew, where they explain how they did all the steps for that. So, which is basically just this. They came up with a pipeline to do this kind of work, because before that, which this isn't old, by the way. This is like relatively recent.
It was last year, I think.
Yeah, which is relatively recent for a new animation technique.
Yeah, right.
The main thing is that if you just feed each frame to any AI to create the drawing, it doesn't have context of what comes before or after. So it becomes this jittery, wild thing that looks very odd and has a lot of issues. And they came up with a pipeline to try to soften that up, to help with that, and then to also use it only for characters and keep the characters consistent, and then use Unreal Engine 5, which is a 3D modeling thing, to do the backgrounds and to do camera movements. And there's a lot of work.
There's still a lot of manual work.
Like, this is
it's a lot of
you
don't
work.
Just type make me a video and then it happens. Like, there's still a ton of manual things going on, which the video studio did for this. That being
RuneGate,
yes.
So they did a lot of work, and it's
Yeah.
It's not like something like, oh, we press the button. Yeah, it's not like that. You need to film all the shots of the video. You need to create all the environments on Unreal Engine. You need to make it look somewhat cohesive between that.
Yeah, edit it all together.
And the AI processing is an iterative process that you need to run a couple of times to get consistent result. It still, I gotta say personally, still looks very junky. It's not
so
great.
like we can look at this from a lot of angles. We can look at it from like the ethical technology side, which where everyone's doing their best. No, we're not perfect. Okay, cool. But from the like purely like aesthetic, artistic side, I don't personally vibe with this style. Like it's kind of cool as from like a conceptual thing, but in practice, I'm just like it's just so distracting to see like the character model like changing design every half a second, and it's just like, please just have a character. Please just animate normally. Oh my god!
But now,
for me, it's distracting, and I think there's part of that is like the built-in knowledge of like knowing what goes into this, and knowing like we'll say sketchiness of all of it. Where I'm just like, it does take me out of it. And from the artistic perspective of like, oh, it's about AI, we want to use AI. Like, okay, fine idea, but I think it really rubs me the wrong way to just watch a video like this. Where like, if there was a version of this video that existed that was just, they just drew these characters or rotoscoped them normally, I would be fine with watching it that way. Obviously, that would have taken longer and been more expensive and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
blah,
and
blah,
so
blah,
that's
blah.
interesting because within all the comments, I've seen some comments, and this is a kind of interesting thing, probably from older people, that they see it and they think, oh, this reminds me of the old movie Heavy Metal, which was a rotoscope, traditional back in, what was it?
Yeah,
the 70s.
That's a throwback for you.
Yeah, and some people feel like, oh, it feels like that because that was super junky as well, and it was this whole you can find it. It was an adult animated movie which was just rotoscoped, so each frame looks a bit janky and different from the previous one.
If you're a youngin like me, you might be more familiar with the South Park version of this movie.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So some other people were like, oh, this looks like that thing. That's cool because that's old school as fuck. And yeah, that would be the general basic style, I guess. It doesn't really look that way. It's just the jankiness of each frame in rotoscope. And it's been used in other ways. And I think like talking not about the drama, but about the specific video, it would have been cooler to just let it go crazy on each frame and not try to make it have consistent models like in other old music videos from the 60s and 70s. But that's just me. Now, talking about the drama, this has been an interesting week. Unleash the Archers have made a couple posts and replying to people and talking in their Discord just when they started getting all these comments and some backlash, some people going, yeah, this is great. And just trying to like, I don't want to say damage control because it doesn't feel like that, but just to be as open and clear about what they think and what they are trying to achieve, which I think is pretty cool and necessary. Maybe it would have been better if they had thought about it before releasing the video and because in some...
I think they expected some talk about this, but I think it probably blew up larger than they expected.
I think their original first statements when releasing like the PR talk had enough buzzwords and enough vagueness that a lot of people were angry about things that weren't there.
Well, there's a few things in their talks that I think people interpreted, we'll say, with not the best takes. That being like, so like they did mention like, okay, we want to use AI in the creation of the album, which then people take away from that. Oh my God, they're just generating their album with AI. This is horrible. And it's like, bad takes around for that. They also mentioned that they use AI to write some of the lyrics, which they then had to clarify later was extremely, extremely minimal. Brittany put up a video talking about it where it's basically like, I use ChatGPT, and as a prompt, I put write lyrics about this idea in the Stop Unleash the Archers. Most of it sucks, but then like there's like little snippets here and there that they can kind of work with and like play with the syllables to fit the song or the melody or whatever. So like, and that's like 2 lines in an entire concept album's worth story. So it's like, fine.
Yeah, but it
Okay,
definitely
it sounds sketchy on paper, but
it sounds
when
sketchy.
you-
That's the problem.
yeah.
The problem was like the PR, how this looks for a lot of people in the space that are the target audience of this. It's like, yeah, they will assume the worst immediately. They will go, oh, like there have been comments like, I can't believe this band that was doing all these traditional heavy riffs are now just going AI lyrics. This is going to be shit. Which sucks for them because there might be some people that will actually just stop paying attention and not look. Hopefully not a lot, but
yeah, like there are undoubtedly going to be people who stay away from all of this is like, oh, that band I like is just an AI bullshit thing now, and that's all they're gonna know, because that's just how information gets filtered through the internet. But
yeah,
so be it.
Their latest statement on this whole thing, which was 6 days after the release of the video, I think is pretty clear with everything. They actually mentioned that they talked again with Rungate, the studio, with the artist Bob Bradshaw, and just went over everything again with this new perspective, I guess, and go like, okay, we should not have said like artwork by Bob Bradshaw, because he did not do the actual artwork. He just did here, copy my style. It's not the same. He did not do it. He just provided the learning data for something else to do it in his style, which I think it's an important distinction for crediting people.
Like he's been pretty quiet on the matter, other than saying like, yes, they licensed my artwork. It's followed the contract. I had nothing else to do with it. I made some T-shirts or something.
Yeah, and he has worked with the band before, doing artwork.
Yeah, he's done a lot of artwork for the power metal community.
This is a previously established relationship. So it's not like, hey, we just chose this guy.
No one's getting fucked over.
Yeah,
hopefully,
everyone was above board with everything, which is pretty cool to see, I guess, because we know you see examples every day now of this not being the case. But well, that was the thing. Now an album is gonna come out. I believe they will have another single in March before the album comes out. And I don't know. I honestly barely remember the song after all this talk.
I've listened to the song a lot. I like the song.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we talk about it. We talk about the drama and the behind the scenes for 15 minutes. But as for the actual song, the thing that matters, I like it. And I am excited for this album. I talked about like comparing things like Apex and Abyss earlier. Like, I feel like stylistically this one's closer to Abyss, which is, I think, kind of harder to say because Abyss has a lot of different styles in it.
Yes.
But that's what I like about it. And so I am excited to see them continuing in that kind of direction.
Yes. And they also showed the artwork for the album, which a lot of people love it. I'm not a fan. It looks like Tanagra because it's green and it has the perspective with the angles and the glass. And yeah, it has the same color palette, but I don't know. I know a lot of sci-fi fans were saying that they love it. It just reminds me of Tanagra and that Ben 10 dude with the crystal arms.
I hadn't thought about that, but now that you mention it,
because it's the same thing. But it's fine. The hope that the album is cool. I will listen to it. We will talk about it when it comes out. And hopefully we just have to talk about the music and nothing else, but,
And nothing else.
Although
they have said they're going to put up like a behind the scenes of the music video that I am interested in seeing.
I am very interested because like I've seen the corridor stuff before when it came out. I'm really interested on how this all works. So I think it's a good thing that someone with this amount of notoriety, with this much reach, has done this kind of thing, because we need people to push for the new tools. And the only way we will find what's the happy medium to use all these new things is by having both sides of the extremes just going at it until we find what is actually sustainable and cool to use and everything. I think we go through this kind of thing with every new technology as time goes on. So honestly, good on you for doing it. Unleash the Archers and going for this. I think that's cool. At least in this way. Not if you just anyone that's just gonna go now, oh, I'm gonna do my AI art without thinking, just use whatever free thing I found online. Maybe put some more effort on it. Don't be like that. I'm just gonna have ChatGPT
and like
write
the
my
thing
lyrics.
is, this is not the last time we're gonna have a conversation like this.
No,
this is the first one
this is
in
the
the
first
like
one.
power metal sphere doing it. But it's just gonna keep happening. We're gonna like new like variants of this are gonna pop up, and it's just gonna keep going, and it's gonna be. Orton Rogan was right, dude. We are in the dawn of the AI.
We are in the dawn of the AI. They were just ahead for
they were ahead of the game.
They were ahead of the game. They didn't get the flag because they were just talking about it like it's the dawn of the AI. Now we are like 11 a.m.
The AI's had its coffee now. Okay?
Yeah, the AI's had its coffee and it's now ready for the workday.
Oh god. All right, let's talk about something less controversial. Let's talk about Alestorm.
Let's talk about Alestorm. So, Alestorm released a new single that is part of a short EP, which is the Voyage of the Dead Marauder. With
the title track of the upcoming EP.
Yeah, with fantastic guest Patty Gurdy on vocals and Gurdy as usual. They made a video.
I'm really glad that they're collaborating more with her because like her stuff,
it's awesome.
She elevates their bands.
It matches. It's a match made in folk heaven. Their styles really blend well. I'm pretty sure, like, just listening to the song, I think, and looking at the video that they've made, this is Chris finally fulfilling all his dreams of having the female-fronted metal band with the pop
it's
hook.
weird when they like come. There's a part in the bridge or whatever where they are doing like basically a duet and they're singing together, and they have such a strange combination of voices.
Yeah,
of like Chris is like gravelly, like pirate talking, singing, quote unquote, with Patty's actual singing. It's so weird, but I kind of dig it.
I dig it a lot. Like they pushed Patty's vocals to the extreme pop sheen, like as pop
she seems
as
extra
you can
like
do it, super
pop
bright,
star, like high pitched, girly, bright voice.
Yeah, it's like
because she doesn't normally sound quite like that.
No, this is pushing her to like, let's pretend this is 2002 and we are releasing the next pop sensation. And meanwhile, Chris and the other guys is like, yeah, let's just do 12 tracks of and make it work. And this crummy metal is like a ball of dirt with metal shining around it. I don't know how to explain it. It's so good. I love this song. I love the chorus. The chorus just kicks into the stratosphere with all the happiness and power, and you just want to dance. And it's awesome.
But they also have like Elliot doing like the harsh vocals underneath all of that too, which is adding even more contrast.
It's like the old Beauty and the Beast concept, but in a less like, it's not theater kid style. It's it's we need to make a pop. I want to make a pop hook, and I don't care about anything else. Like, don't give it to them, just do it, and it works so well for me. And the song is just great. The chorus is amazing. It's like one of the best hooks in all of Alestorm's discography. Probably, I haven't listened to all of it.
I think this is the most like interested in an Alestorm song I've been in probably quite a while. It's like, I think if they can hit this mixture of like, we're gonna do the catchy pop stuff, but put like a cool twist on it like this, then I'm down for it.
Like, if you think
we
about
can all
it,
get along.
If you think about it, if anything, this is the less twisty thing, because they've been doing the pop hooks, but just not performed in a pop way. And this is just going full pop.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like conceding and going, yeah, let's just do it. Let's get a cool female vocalist to just shine on this. And that's the part of the missing ingredient, I guess, for what I think is like an awesome, great song. I just like it too much.
Yeah, I just like hurdy-gurdy in general, and I'm always stoked when people use it in their stuff.
I think that's the thing.
You don't give enough of it.
That's what matches the most with Alestorm in general. The Gurdy it's a perfect instrument for what they do, what they've been doing all this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those bands, because if you put Patty Gurdy in like a traditional folk band, maybe it's like, yeah, it's more of the same. It's like when you have, what was it, Eluete and those things. And you go, yeah.
She was in an actual, like, another pirate band, Stormseeker.
Yeah, but, you know, generally when someone says pirate band, you're not thinking of the best pop songwriting. Yeah. But that's me gushing about this song because I actually really, really like it. Sorry.
Yeah, there have a couple more things coming out because like this is going to be an EP.
Yes, the EP has
also
more
featuring
songs.
a sea shanty and the lovingly titled Cock. So hey,
so for those who don't know, Cock has actually been released before. It exists on the internet. It's someone in a Reddit post said that
literally seen in a dream.
Yeah, they dreamt about this song called Cock, and they put an album art that they made with based on what they thought, and they put what lyrics they had for the chorus, and then Chris just went and wrote and recorded that song and published it, and now it becomes a fully fledged.
Don't let your memes
release.
be dreams, dude.
Exactly. This is very important. Everyone that makes stuff that's listening to this, you should know, don't let your memes be dreams. Go and do them. It's better to do and release a bunch of crap than just don't try to do them at all. Go for it. Every time. If you are concerned about your brand, release it with a different artist name. You can do that. That's allowed. That's
yeah, I mean, just look at Chris. He's got like 20 brands.
Yeah, every now and then we will get something cool. And it's better that to get 1,000 weird things and one cool thing that none of them at all. This has become
so
like a motivational.
Thank you, Alestorm.
Yeah, exactly. And there's other songs on the EP, but
Chris has said it's just
Voyage
a
of the Dead
song,
Marauder is what matters. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. If you watch the video is really cool. Alestorm has always done great videos. They've had the budget and all that.
I mean, it's a typical Napalm video. They're in a place and there's fire.
Yeah, and also
but they have some more like witchy stuff, so that's kind of cool.
If you're listening to this as it releases, Alestorm is going on tour in the UK, and on the tour in the UK, Patty will be with them. So if you can catch the shows, and I assume catch this song live, it would make no sense to not play this song because it's like top tier. And hopefully that can happen again in other tours. No idea. We only know of this one.
Because they'll be touring the US in like a month or two, but I don't think Patty's with them on that.
That doesn't have Patty on it. For now, she's just on the UK tour, which is happening like now. I think.
Awesome.
As you listen to this, if you are just listening to it the week it released. And if not, if you're in the future, sorry, you missed it. Hopefully it happens again. But that's the recent stuff.
Let's talk about some albums. You know, that thing that we are supposed to do.
Let's talk about some albums.
All right, reviews for new music. How about that? I want to start this off with In Victory. Now, In Victory is a band who they do really uplifting symphonic power metal. It's mostly just run by one dude, and I really like this guy's stuff. He's been around for a few years. I don't think they've done any proper like full album releases. It's just like singles and EPs. But it's always really good, really powerful, really just hooks you in. It's the fast, uplifting stuff that I just love from power metal. And this guy cranks it out really well. Really starting off the year strong. It was like January 4th, put out a new EP called Ignited. This is it's only a 3-song EP with one of those songs being a minute and a half. So I guess like 2 full songs, if you want to go with that. And for me, this was just like, damn, we're starting off 2024 really strong. The 3rd song on the album is called Arrows of Fire. And I think this might literally be my most listened to song of the first 2 months of the year.
Ooh.
It's one of those songs where it's on a constant loop of either being stuck in my head, and I go and listen to it a bunch, and then it stays stuck in my head.
Nice. That's like a great sign.
Exactly. It's like I've just been hardcore spamming this song, and like I don't always do that, but when I do, especially for a new song, it's like all right, this is going to be one to really keep an eye on.
Nice. I'll check it out.
The chorus for me is just so catchy. I don't know. It sticks with me.
Nice. That's great.
Flying through the air, dun, 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 arrows of fire. And it's just literally about arrows that are on fire, flying and doing stuff that arrows do.
Nice.
But damn it works.
It's great when it works.
It's like power metal can be good, folks. Remember that.
We need to convince people of that. We can do it. We can do it.
So if you're a big enough fucking nerd to listen to a power metal podcast, I highly recommend In Victory. You too can be victorious, spelled correctly.
All right. What else do we have? What else have you listened to, Kyle?
I've also been listening to Nekonomicon. Now, this is a weird fucking band because they've explicitly said that they don't really like stick with any particular genre. Like their first release was sort of mellow deathy. I think anytime I've listed these guys in my album spreadsheet, I have to put a question mark next to the genre because I'm never sure. It floats around a lot.
Oh, damn.
But if I had to summarize like stylistically how their releases have gone, the first one was an album that was sort of mellow deathy. Last year they had an EP that was sort of synth wavy pop metal-y. This is all, very vague. This year they just released a new album called Choose Your Fighter that leaned into more of like a metalcore style. So that's just like the biggest departure from like straight like album to album. Now, personally, of all those genres, I don't really vibe with metalcore.
Oh, no.
So I didn't love this album. I'm sorry to say. So Choose Your Fighter. This is not a fighter I'm choosing. I'm sorry to say, but I'm happy to be part of the experiment here. Keep trying these different styles. Keep finding different things that work for you. This one wasn't for me. That's fine. I really like the last two, and I'm sure I'll like more things in the future.
Hopefully.
But if you want a weird, video game metalcore thing, then hey, Choose Your Fighter by Nekonomicon might be for you.
There you go. Great. I didn't listen to this either, but I didn't like the previous Nekonomicon much. That's why I didn't check it out. Sorry.
But hey, they have a variety. So
it's variety. So I might check it out just to see what they do with metalcore. It might work for me. We'll see. But something that I did listen to very quickly late. I know a lot of people that I know will be angry with me that I just now listened to Mega Colossus. Like yesterday. It's I actually really like one song. I think the song that they have that's called Wicked Road in this album, in the album Showdown, is amazing. It's clear Kansas worship. It's old school rock. It's so good. They really nailed it.
I mean, it literally starts like with Turn Out My Wayward Son.
Yes, exactly. So they do all the things. That's why I say it's Kansas worship, 100%. But it works really well. And I think they should just do this and not try to do heavy metal at all. Because
abandon like the new wave of trad metal to do
just
old school rock worship.
Drop the 80s heavy metal box and go nuts on this more open, free rock. Do more harmonies. Do more arpeggios with your guitars. Do more open guitar things with chords. Don't just go because there's nothing that special there. But this song is like, whoa, I was listening to the album and I had to check. I assumed it was a cover because it was so different and so fresh at the same time. It's not that fresh maybe, but it sounds modern. Well, bringing me back to that era of rock. And it worked. They pulled it off. It works perfectly. I love it. The rest of the album is okay. It's good. But this is so much better that it puts the whole rest of the album in like its shadow. And I hope they do more of the stuff. And I will check if in their previous work they have something, more stuff similar to that. And if people in Mega Colossus are listening, sorry, but you should go full rock.
Like, I haven't listened to their albums very much. I just remember seeing them live at Mad with Power, and they definitely lean more into like the trad speed metal type stuff, at least for the live show, and that was really fun. I definitely wasn't expecting a song like this on this album, but it definitely surprised me with how really good it is.
Yeah, it's just like you guys nailed it. Go for that. Play to your strengths. This came out.
I did also
January
like the
too,
song.
right? Yeah.
I like the song "Grab the Sun" that they had on there too. I think this was the Fury Road one, not to be confused with Wicked Road, which is also confusing.
It's I don't know, man. Just go for Wicked Road. I will listen to that song a lot in the future. I don't think,
and it's not one of the most listened songs on the album, so I guess it's kind of buried a little ways down in there.
Yeah, it's
so
not.
I don't know.
If it wasn't a single and being the fifth out of 6 songs, it's probably not that popular. I hope we can change that. But it probably would get a different kind of audience than what they expect. Maybe, I don't know. It's great.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be the type of thing they play live if they just want to go like really hard, unless maybe it's like we're gonna mix up the set a little bit type track.
If they can pull this off live, I think it would work great. If you can pull the harmonies and everything. But anyway, let's move on.
We'll see where they go from here.
Caligula's Horse. I listened to this album, Charcoal Grace. I like it.
It's a big old proggy boy of an album.
Seahorse is cool. It's funny when people call it Seahorse on chat, and I just read chores every time. That's how it is. Sorry, friends, but that's how it is.
This band called Chores.
Chores. The good old Chores, man. Now, I love
Chores
Seahorse.
out the playground.
I like the proggy. I listened to this album in full, and I had a great time. I don't think it's the kind of album where I will say, hey, yeah, I'm going to save this song, because it's just one
it all just
evening.
kind of flows.
Yeah.
Like the title track, quote unquote, is actually 4 tracks that together are like 25 minutes long. Because of course it's prog. That's after a separate 10-minute track, and then the end is another 12-minute one.
Yeah, I don't
of course it is.
I don't really care. I had a great afternoon with listening to this.
Exactly.
These guys are great at doing this kind of thing. I love it. I love the tone. I love the style. It's probably one of those things that you want to just leave it on in full as a playlist while you do something else, or you're just in the mood for listening to the proggy stuff and getting a bit like, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and pass out to prog. I probably listen to one of the songs on its own. It's not that interesting in comparison. That's my take.
If you were to listen to any like singular song, you'd probably one of the shorter ones like Golem or Storm Chaser, which kind of work as more quote unquote traditional songs, as opposed to just like this grand musical journey of.
It's more like an album. That's what it is. It's an album. You should listen to the album is the unit here for me.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's like an easy listening album. You kind of want to settle in for this one, I think.
Yeah, you're either paying attention and just listening to music, or you are used to this kind of like prog vibes and not super repetitive things.
And their style of prog, they really just kind of do a bit of everything. They've got like the really soft stuff, the really heavy stuff. There'll be like blast beats and like shredding, but then like this like light little melodic piano on top of it, like the harsh vocals, like the clean vocals, everything you want. And somewhere in this album will be a thing that you like. It might last for a minute, or it might last for half an hour. You don't know, but there's something there.
That's how it works.
Like. Yeah,
just give it a shot.
It's a prog experiment.
Yeah, anyone that likes some prog, if you've never listened to Caligula's Chords, I don't think this is a bad way to start.
Yeah,
just because it's there, go check it out. And if you like it, check out their other stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not like the biggest proggy boy. Like I like it when it's just like the straightforward power metal stuff, but they do cool prog. I have a very arbitrary delineation in my mind of cool prog and boring prog.
This is
Kyle Horse is cool prog. Kyle approved cool prog. Okay. And I thought it was cool prog even before I met them in person. Okay, so it's fine. I'm not biased.
Yeah,
although they are playing live, quote unquote, near me in like a day, and I'm gonna miss it because it's too far.
Oh no!
But, oh well.
So close yet so far.
I've been doing a lot of driving to LA recently, and I'm taking a break before I do it more later in the year.
That's understandable. Yeah. Like it takes.
I've seen them live twice already. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's good. But if anyone else,
but they are touring right now. So when we get this episode out real quick, check it out.
If you like it, go check if they are playing near you. If you are in the States, just go for it. It's a good time. Probably I've never seen them live, but the guys always say that they are great.
They're very great live. Yeah,
very great. If you are not in the mood for prog, you might be on the mood for folk.
Maybe some folk. Yeah, we got the new album. I think the first full album by the band Albion, called Lake Songs of Elbid. That might not be how you say that. I don't care. So Albion's been around for a few years doing singles in a very soft, very pleasant, like old English folk style. So we got a lot of our acoustic guitars, our just like whoo type singing, our like lots of fluty type stuff. So if you want to really settle in for just a pleasant, quaint little folk journey, I really liked Lake Songs of Elbid.
Okay.
You said you weren't really in the folk mood.
I was not in the folk mood. I was full prog.
You were in full prog. This is not prog.
Yeah, so I skipped these for this episode. Sorry. That's just how it is.
Yeah, this is a long album, hour 9 minutes, fucking dozen tracks. So it really kind of hits lots of stuff. So you've got more instrumental type stuff. You've got the catchier stuff. Mostly, I think the catchiest would probably be the cover of Barrett's Privateers because, banger of a song.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing some singles, which I think all the singles are included on the album. So things like Pagan Spirit and Finding Avalon have been released before. Those are some of my favorite songs that they've done. So I'm glad to just get it all together here. One package. One time forest package all
don't
together.
break that up. We'll have an episode about that probably soon.
Oh yeah, that'll be next month. That'll be fine.
Let's move on before it gets weird. We have another album, Elettra Storm's Power Lords, that came out in February. That's more recent even. Wow.
Yeah, this one just came out at the time of recording. We actually got an early version of this. After I listened to one of their singles on YouTube, I was like,
yeah, I actually
really like that. Do we have this album? They're on Scarlet Records. Do we have this one?
I went for the same thing. I listened to that one of the singles. I don't remember the name of that, but it was like, oh, yeah,
probably
this
Higher
is
Than the Stars, maybe.
Competent. No, I can check this out. That from my high horse, I thought.
Yeah, because I like on the surface, I thought it was going to be admittedly really boring because I'm like, okay, it's
we're very superficial.
We can be very superficial.
We're sorry. Yes. You have to choose. The reality is that sometimes you choose what you listen to just based on what it says on the tin, what you see on the album art.
Yeah, like we can claim to be unbiased and smart music people, but we're all human.
We all have a limited time to listen to stuff, so sometimes we just choose, I'm going to dismiss this. But there's some cool songs in this. I want to say listening to the whole album was a bit of a chore.
I think it falls off in the back half.
I didn't finish the last two songs because it was a bit...
Yeah.
That's a lot of the same. So for a full album like these 9 songs, it was too much. Too much burgers. We need to break it up with something. But there's good material. Higher Than the Stars, great way to start an album. I'm surprised at how short the runtime of the song is because it doesn't feel that short. It's a good song. I think the other one that I liked was Power Lords. Now I'm not sure. Yeah,
Power Lords is... I liked Power Lords, Redemption. I also put Sacrifice of Angels on there on my list. Basically, I liked the songs that are faster, more guitar driven, and basically fall more into that power side than the boring symphonic wankery side.
I think that they do good. The performance is good. The material is decent, but there's too much of it. Gotta scale it back. Gotta either cut it with some more stuff, make it more diverse, or just rein it in, do less songs. Just keep the best ones. Filter a bit more.
Yeah. I think the bands like this, I usually will find myself kind of just picking up the singles rather than wanting to like fully immerse myself in the whole soundscape, the whole story or whatever. So like when Elite Archers comes out later this year, I'm probably going to do a full album for that. For like, we're talking about Caligula's Horse. I'm doing a full album for that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
this is not a full album band right now.
This is just like, this is eating M&Ms, but like sometimes M&Ms are really what you want, you know? You're munching on them and it's great. What really surprised me with these guys is, I think what kind of breaks away from the, we'll say surface level imagery, is like the very first song just starting off very fast, very shreddy. And it's just like, oh, damn, I'm actually liking this. Oh, and they're throwing in the keyboard solos in there too. Like, oh, we need more of this. This is the good stuff.
Yeah, they just went for it. This is very important. I've been bitching about this for years.
Just start with your best song.
Don't do the pointless intro. Skip the pointless intro.
There's no pointless intro.
Points because they
it's
don't
great.
do it. There's no intro. It just bangs right off the gate, and that's what you should do.
Yeah, immediately starts with the banger.
For intros.
So
let's just get to the meat.
So if for the gamers out there, when you fight Sans and Undertale, he says like, "Oh, I don't get why enemies in games don't just start with their strongest attack just to win the fight. That's what these guys do."
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I'm making references for the youths out there. We gotta cover a broad audience here, Fernando.
You're right. I'll get the old people. You can get the youngs, the youths, and
we're not that different in age.
I talked about fucking a movie from
the 70s.
And Carry On My
Is it
Wayward
70s?
Son.
This is gonna bother me.
All those things like
I talked about Undertale. Oh, it's 81. So sorry, not 70s.
Almost there.
My bad.
But I'm talking about Kansas and dropping those things like and you take care of the everything after like 2000. Well, it's not that bad. Okay. But again, Elettra Storm, check out the singles. I recommend just check out the YouTube singles, then listen to them on Spotify, whatever you want. But those are probably the strongest songs.
Yeah,
I recommend them.
It's the same thing I feel with the band Nocturna, if you've ever listened to them, where it's just like, there's some solid stuff here. I only need the singles.
I agree. And this is hopefully the band.
They also have an album coming out soon.
Hopefully the band, these kind of bands learn faster, because this is their first album by Elettra Storm, from what I see. I don't know what else they've done before, because this is their first album with Scarlet Records. Maybe they've been doing stuff before. I don't know. But I hope that
I'm pretty sure this is their debut.
I hope that all these bands learn faster in their careers, that they should filter out and get to the actual great songs and focus on those only. There's really not much point on filler tracks. There's no time for filler tracks. There's no need to fill out the full album. Put your efforts on doing your best songs and doing more of those best songs over time than all at once. That's it.
Definitely.
And this was really fast. We did it.
Are we going to do it? Did we do a fast episode?
We did a fast.
Did we do the thing that we said we were going to do?
I think we're doing it. This is incredible. I hope that this wasn't rushed to our listeners. We're trying the new format that I said we would try. Did I say we would try? Yeah, I said it.
Yes.
I said it on the last Travel Blog episode. But now it's happening. We did it. I think this should be under an hour. And we will try to do it more than once every 6 months. I can promise that much.
if you're good, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, we also have a cool interview episode coming out in a few weeks, probably. We'll see.
It's got weeks.
And I think people like that one. That's a fun one.
Yeah, and remember, whenever we will keep doing, when we do guest episodes, interview episodes, that's the old format. So those episodes will be long. They will be the same, because I know people like our conversations.
You want the interviews to be longer, though.
That's what people like.
Because then you get more of the guests.
Exactly. So whenever those drop, those will be longer. You can deal with that. Listen to it in parts. I whatever you do, just listen, enjoy it. But then what's not guessed, we're going to try to do it like this, a bit more fast-paced, and just keeping it short. And I guess that's it, which feels weird because it does feel like it was really short, but I'm looking at the clock and it's almost an hour.
We killed like 10 minutes being stupid at the start, so this will be like 50 minutes long or something. It's great.
Yeah, this is awesome. We did it. And of course, if this is...
We can make more stupid jokes here and say hit an hour if you really want, but I don't think we need to.
Let's not get lost, because this is what we do. This is why our episodes lasted 3 hours every time, because we just kept going. But
all right, I'm gonna executive decision. Fernando,
let's do it. So
stay powerful.
Hold on. We need to do this properly. If for some reason this is the first episode you hear from us, welcome. Thanks for staying for the whole episode. This is what we do. We're going to do some music reviews. We're going to talk about more, some news at the start. So there's always like a bit of the episode that will be old eventually, but the other half might just work forever. We have older episodes with timeless topics. You can go check out. We have a bunch of interviews with a bunch of bands and artists that you might like. Probably some of them before they got as big as they are now. You should check that out and look forward to the ones that we have coming. We have a couple coming, and we always try to get new ones. And we'll just keep doing this, talk about power metal. This is very, very niche. Sometimes we'll talk about something else, but it should be interesting anyways. And that's it. That's me, Fernando, and Kyle.
That's me.
Bringing you the Power Metal Podcast. Check it out on YouTube or whatever there's podcasts, on Spotify. We don't care. Just listen to it, comment on YouTube if you want. If you want to be angry at us, go and mention it on the YouTube comments. We have a Patreon, which is there just to cover the costs of having the show going, because you actually have to pay for it to be distributed to people. The world is weird.
Thank you to the people that are still subscribed in there, and forget that they're still subscribed on
Everyone that has been helping out at the show, you have our undying gratitude. You will keep having it. Whenever we don't release an episode, we don't charge you. We're not that bad. That's it. Check it out. We have an Instagram, which I think is Powerful PM. I lost all the things right now. I don't have them. They'll be there in links. And that's it.
We post them in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. Thank you all. And stay powerful.
Stay powerful.